In this tutorial, I'm going to show you recording with Reaper. But before I do that, I want to show you two items in the options menu. Let's go up here to options, trim content behind media items when editing, and trim content behind media items when recording. For now, I want you to select both of them. See the two check marks? We'll go through later what they are, but for now I want you to have them both selected. This way your system behaves the same way as mine does, so there's no confusion. So what we're going to do right now is record a guitar track. I have this new track set up right here, number 15. I'm going to name it Guitar. Guitar. Next, we'll select the record modes. Go to the options menu. There's 3 different record modes. For now, we're going to choose normal. You could also change that in the transport. Where the record button is, right-click it. You can choose it right here. Now we'll change the input to the track. If you remember in the other video, we can go to our router and choose it here. But for now, let's just choose it over here. There's a menu here called Input. From here, you could select mono input, stereo input to choose our input for the track. It's on 1 right now. We're going to switch it to guitar input. But before we do that, I want to show you one other thing. If you grab the VU meter, it shows the shorter menu here. Instead of going through this entire menu here to find it, you can just set the input right from here. It's a little quicker. So we're going to set mono input, guitar input. Now if we go back to the other menu here, down here is track recording settings. The stuff up here is for MIDI, but down here you could change the format for recording. Right now it defaults what we were using, which I believe was the wave, but you could change it if you want. You could set this and choose other formats. You could change the bit depth. For now we're going to stick with the default. Just know that it's here. So let's close that. Next you want to decide what gets recorded to the track. If you go to the input menu here, you can choose record input. You could also choose record output, but that's usually used if you want to record the effects that are on the track. We'll go over that later. For now, just set it to record input. Next, we're going to arm the track. We'll put it in record. This button right here is for arming the track. We'll click that. Now we're in record. And the VU meter changes to show you the input, guitar input. So we know we're good to go. So I'll play the guitar. It's not playing through the track. That's because the monitoring mode isn't set up. If you go back to the input menu, you can see there's a bunch of monitoring choices. Monitor input tape auto style. Right now nothing is selected, so we're not monitoring the sound through the track. Now if your sound card has a different way of monitoring it, you can still monitor it that way. Or if you're running through a recording console, you can monitor it through your board directly. But if you want to hear it through the track, you got to choose one of these monitoring choices. So let's choose monitor input for now. Now if I play the guitar, I can hear the guitar. And if I play the track, you can hear me play along. So there's 3 monitoring modes in Reaper. You have this input mode, you have it turned off, so you can't hear it. And then you have tape auto style. If you have it set to tape auto style, you can still hear it when you play it. But if I hit play and don't go into record, you don't hear the guitar anymore, even though I'm playing it. That's because when you use this mode, monitor input tape auto style, it automatically lets you hear the input when you're in record. And when you come back out, it lets you hear what's on the track. I'll show you that in a bit. So basically there's 3 modes. And besides switching them here, monitor input tape auto style, or turning it off for nothing, you can just hit this button here. If it's gray like this, you're not monitoring anything. So I play the guitar, you don't hear anything. If you hit it again, it turns black. That's monitor input. You do hear the guitar through the channel. And you can see it's selected right there. And if you hit this button again, it goes to this green mode, which is the tape mode. You can hear it. But if I hit play, you can't hear it, unless I'm in record. Then you can hear the guitar. So you only hear it when you're punching in, or if you're in stop, which is great for overdubs. For instance, let's say we wanted to punch a part of this track. I'll make sure I'm in tape mode, this green tape mode. And if I hit play, I'm going to hear this track play back, but I'll hear my guitar once I punch in. Now I'm hearing my guitar. Let's punch in again. I'm just going to replace this one here. Again, because we're in tape auto style mode, we're going to hear this track play back until I punch in. And when I punch out, you can hear the track play back again, instead of hearing me play guitar. Punch in. Back to the track. So that's probably the best mode to use for overdubbing parts. But if you want to keep the input on all the time, just use monitor input. And you can tell by looking at this icon here which mode you're in. This is monitor input, tape style, no monitor. So if you play the guitar, you don't hear anything. You don't hear anything through the track. Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit with the punching in and punching out. Let me take a few steps back and explain it. As long as we're in record mode normal, all the punching in and punching out is done manually. In other words, you trigger it yourself. Let's switch our mode to tape style. Hit that until it's green. Monitor input tape auto style. Now to initiate recording, just hit the record button down here, and it goes into record. So undo that. Now if you wanted to punch in, you can hit play and just hit it where you want to punch. Say I want to punch right now. Then you hit it again to punch out. That's punching in and punching out. And you can also do it with a keystroke. On the PC, it's Control-R. On the Mac, it's Command-R. But remember, you can always change that yourself. I changed mine to be like Pro Tools, which is Command-Space. So I want to initiate recording. Hit the keystroke. Goes into record. Now let's say I want to change the second figure right here. Just want to punch that in. I can do that completely manually by hitting the record button when I get to that spot and then letting it back out when I get past the spot. Goes into record. Hit my keystroke. I just did a manual punch. And because I'm in tape auto style over here, we were monitoring this, then we heard this, which was input, and then we heard this. So you could hear how you punch sounds, hear how the sounds work together. That's the monitoring mode I would use for overdubbing. There's one other mode I want to show you though. Right over here, monitor track while recording. You could select this in addition to those other modes, so it doesn't affect these other two. When you add this in, you can hear this media back along with what you're recording, if you'd like. You might think, when do I want to use that? Well, a perfect example is, let's say I was doing vocals. I could switch it to input mode on playback, leave monitor track media when recording on, and then if I hit play, I'm going to hear input and this track playing at the same time. So if I have a singer in the booth, I can hear that person talk to me while the track is playing. They could say, hey, stop, I want to do that line again. There'll be some communication going on because input's going the whole time, and I'm also monitoring the track. It's kind of a useful feature to have. For now, I'm going to leave it off though and go back to tape auto style. The next record mode I want to show you up here is record mode time selection auto punch. That's going to punch in automatically based on your time selection. And you can set up a time selection by clicking in an unused track over here. See how it gets bright white? Or you could select up here in the time ruler. You can't click in here because it's going to start moving the regions, but you can right click in here to do that. You can right click from here to here, and that sets up your time selection for auto punch because the mode is time selection auto punch. So now Reaper's going to punch in, I'll go to here, just in this region here, and then it's going to punch out automatically. So all I got to do now is just go right into record. You can see how it changes right here. The icon actually looks different. So now I'll hit this button or my keystroke for record, and it's going to punch in right here and then out. This way you can do it hands-free if you're recording yourself, or if you just want to keep the regions all the same size as you do each punch. So that's the record mode time selection auto punch. The next record mode is auto punch selected items. So instead of going by the time selection, it'll go by a region you select. For instance, the one I just recorded. So if I select this region by control clicking on PC or command clicking on Mac, I can then play from here and it'll punch in based on this media item here. As you can see, this icon changed again because now I'm in record mode auto punch selected items. There's a different icon for each one. So right click it, auto punch selected items. Now it's going to punch in just on that selected item. punch out. Now, if for some reason you don't have an item already cut up like this, let me get rid of these. Let's say this region was just one big one, but I still wanted to punch that way. What you could do is zoom in, choose under Edit, split items at cursor, and do the same thing on the other side. Split items at cursor. Now you have a separated region. So now you can do that same punch based on that region. Next, I want to show you a trick using record mode auto punch selected items. Let's say we wanted to double some of these guitar parts, just in certain sections. So we want to create auto punches just for those spots. We want to double the guitar. Let's make a new track. Let's set our mode to tape style. See, it's green. Monitor input tape auto style. Let's bring the volume down a little bit, right about there. Let's name it double guitar. And let's set our input. Okay, we can set it directly from here. Mono input, guitar input. Now when I go into record, it shows you the guitar input, so you know you're ready to go. Next thing I want to do is select the section I want to punch in. So let's go here and just select from here to about here. So we can double just this one guitar phrase. Go to Insert, Empty Item. Creates an empty item on this track, which is created just for the purpose of auto punch. Let's do the same thing over here. Select from here to here. And you can do it right on the track if you do right click. Right click from here, just to make it easier. From here to here. Insert empty item. Scroll back. Hit escape to get rid of our selection. Now these two regions become our auto punch points. Reaper's going to automatically punch in on this, out here, and then back in for this. So we can double these two guitar phrases. And because we're in tape mode, we're going to only hear the doubles exactly how they're going to be played. We won't hear the guitar here, here, or here. So we double check that we're in record mode, auto punch selected items. Now it's going to punch just this and this. But notice it says auto punch selected items. So we have to select them. On the PC, you'll hold down Control. On the Mac, you'll hold down Command and just select them. This way you don't lose our start point over here. And now let's go into record. And as you can hear, just these sections were doubled. And that's great for working with double guitars or background harmonies, when you know you're going to keep doubling a section, and it makes them nice and neat. So that's recording in Reaper. We'll get into some more complicated things with Reaper in the following tutorials. But for now, this is the basics of recording in Reaper. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.